Spider-Man for the PS1, out 2000, before the movies came out, before, like the magnum opus, as a lot of people think of the Spider-Man 2 for the movie video game came out. This was developed by Neversoft, published by Activision. They handled a lot of the Spider-Man and a lot of Marvel stuff in general back in early 2000s. This was the first game that I have any recollection of both playing and beating. The only other game I have like early memories of playing is the first Grand Theft Auto, which I shouldn't have been playing that at that game at that age, but it's one of those things where I distinctly remember not really getting what was going on. Like, I didn't think of the characters as people or anything, especially because I had seen stuff like Spider-Man, where people looked a lot more like people. Like, you look at it now in 2024, these don't fucking look like people, but back then, to my 5-year-old brain, it looked like people. So, first game I ever beat. This is the first time that I've gone back to it in a really long time. I've played the first mission here and there over the years, just every once in a while being like, oh, hey, let's play this again. But full playthrough, this is the first time in forever. So, we're to recount it, go take a little bit of a walk down memory lane of mine.
I believe they shot down those
I don't remember a lot of it. But
just
it was fun to play it on Twitch,
live
at twitch.tv/latency issue.
Is that the bank
if you
ahead?
need a reminder.
Yes, but be careful, Spider.
I
saw the chopper dropping off
as
robbers on
similar
top of the
to the last video. There's no script for this,
Cat.
so it is going to be kind of rambly. But this game, definitely, is much simpler than something like Fahrenheit. So, shouldn't go on anywhere near as long. Let's see, though, because I can fucking yap. You want to go against me in a yapping competition? I'll win. Anyway. So, a lot of the characters in this, they're voiced by their... I say they're voiced by, but it's not really, they're, basically, Rino Romano, who played Spider-Man in the 1994 cartoon, comes back, comes back again as Peter Spider-Man. Jennifer Hale, who played Black Cat in the show, also comes back. She's kind of an important character. I think most every other character is played by Darren Norris, who most people my age probably remember him as either Cosmo and Timmy's dad from Fairly Odd Parents, or Gordy the janitor from Ned's Declassified. I love Darren Norris. Anyway, so story is Dr. Octavius, who is now reformed, apparently, is giving off a science showing off a science experiment. Eddie Brock is there taking pictures for the Daily Bugle. He has the Venom symbiote, but he hasn't been Venom for a while. Well, in comes Spider-Man to steal Octavius's device. This triggers Eddie Brock, and he turns back into Venom and decides that he's going to go hunt down Spider-Man.
I blew it again. I can hear Jameson's voice
Well,
already. Brock, you loser!
If Mr. Eddie Brock had looked slightly over to the side, he would have seen that Peter Parker, who he knows is Spider-Man, is right next to him. So very clearly was not Peter Parker doing this villainous, nefarious activity of theft in front of everything. So, Peter suits up as Spider-Man, decides to go clear his name as he is taken to the cities, which, so, like I said, this is before the movie games came out.
Phase 1 completed.
So, and also this is relatively early, relatively late PS2, but still isn't pushing the PS1 to, let me double back there, because that came out wrong. This is before the PS2 came out, if I remember correctly. So late PS1, but like still not pushing the PS1 to its further to like as far as it could
Welcome,
be.
true believers and
So,
newcomers alike. Spider-Man
anyway,
co-creator Stan Lee here. Once
or
again, we find
the
our
reason
hero
that I
Peter
bring that
Parker,
up
better known
is
around the
because
world as
there's
the
no
Amazing
ground
Spider-Man,
at
the
all
Hate
of this.
Patrol.
So it's
But this is
only
just the beginning,
skyscrapers.
Spidey-fans.
There
Soon get
are
ready for a true
like
superhero
you can
action
land
thriller,
on top
packed
of
to
the
brim with
buildings,
thrills
and
chills
that's
twists
where
and turns.
some combat
More
takes place.
supervillains than you can
But
shake a
like
web at, and of course,
you
non-stop web-slinging,
one
wall-crawling action.
like you're just above the city
Hey, Spider.
all of the
Hey,
time
Blackcat,
when you're
what's
outside
going on?
swinging, and two,
I know
you're
there's been
not
some trouble,
attaching
but the
to
bank's being
anything.
robbed,
You're just
and they've got hostages.
swinging.
Use your Spidey compass
And
to get to the bank quickly.
I feel like Spider-Man loses a lot of like time, like airtime, in this very quickly. That's just me though.
Spider sense tingling.
But anyway,
Something's going on
so there's gas down below. You can't get to the ground, so
Fury.
you're stuck up there. So Peter takes to the skyscrapers,
Use my Spidey compass to find
decides
the
to go
bank.
try and clear his name. He doesn't know how he's going to do it just yet. When Black Cat comes and tells him that the bank is being robbed. The bank is just called the bank. Well, Peter's like, okay, well,
Another would take
Spider-Man's
a
got to go
friendly
stop
good
that.
Spider-Man.
So he goes, stops it. Afterwards, Venom, who's finally caught up to him, attacks him.
That's my story, Johnny.
Cool, great, lovely.
But how? Venom is invisible to my spider
Peter has to
sense.
race Venom through the city, catches up to him, fights him. Me, personally, because I don't play a lot of games with tank controls, so this chase was super hard for me, which I already don't do super well in chase sequences, especially in Spider-Man games. I don't know what it is. Spider-Man games and chase sequences and me just do not mesh. But I also don't play a lot of games with tank controls. Funny enough, last month, or the last video that I made on Fahrenheit, game with tank controls. This game with tank controls. Game that I'm working on next, tank controls. But in general, I don't play a lot of games with like tanky controls. So I had a lot of trouble with this. Once we do it, we get to the Venom fight. Venom fight, I also had a fuck ton of trouble. Like I've never claimed to be a great gamer. Like I'm mediocre at best. I like to play on hard difficulties just because I like the challenge, but like in general, I'm not a great gamer. I was playing this on hard.
Come back here, Venom!
And like I just felt like I was.
Where are you?
Now you
So,
see me. Now you don't.
Since this is just a casual playthrough, I was kind of only playing it one for the nostalgia because I played it like I think I started it like 2 days before my 28th birthday. So I played it a lot for nostalgia and just to kind of do this and have a video where I could talk about like, oh, first game that I ever beat. Here it is. And also I haven't seen a lot. Like I don't actively go out there and search for I don't actively go. Sorry, I was checking to make sure that my voice was actually recording still. I don't go out there and check like to see like if videos are made on stuff like this. I just try and go with my heart and make videos on games that necessarily aren't as covered in the general like gaming sphere. I don't even know where I was going with this line, but anyway. So I wanted to cover this, for me. So I did end up using Infinite Health cheat for this, just to actually beat the Venom fight. I'm sorry if anybody's mad about that. Tell me in the comments how mad you are. So finish that. Then Venom runs away. Black Cat shows up and she's like, "Hey, guess what?
Listen, Gargan,
Two
it's a new
problems.
millennium.
One,
Lots of high tech. There may be some way we
or
can get you out of that
after
suit.
Venom,
You put me in this suit. Now
I think it's
I'm
after
going to
Venom
make
that
you pay.
Peter goes and has to save
Get
Jameson
over it, Gargan.
from Scorpion, or it was before. It's one of the two. It was pretty in pretty quick succession. But Peter has to save Jameson from Scorpion.
Butt out, Webhead.
Easy enough. That fight,
Spider-Man.
I had trouble with
I
that
asked for
fight
the
too, but
police,
like
and I get this.
I didn't have to use a actually, I think that one was before. I did that. It was fine. I think I did that actually after the bank robbery. Sorry. Like I said, so let me give you a little bit of like time context. So I finished this game on February 28th, I think, was the day that I finished streaming this game. It was supposed to be the video that I made for March. I got super lazy and didn't work on anything over the month of March. So this is the beginning of April now that I'm actually working on this. So that's a little bit of a peek behind the curtain, kind of see. So I don't remember exactly when everything happens, especially because like the Scorpion bit is just kind of there. Like it's not really relevant to the story at all. It's just there. Actually, I say it's just there, but Scorpion does say that he was essentially just there as a distraction to keep Peter distracted. Anyway, so that whole situation gets resolved.
Where's Rhino?
Then Peter gets told by Black Cat that Rhino is at a power plant attacking, and also that Venom has kidnapped Mary Jane. In this, Mary Jane and Peter are married,
Ooh, that must have
so
hurt.
he's even more concerned about her because that's his wife, not just his girlfriend. But he'd still be concerned about her even if she was just his girlfriend, even if they weren't together at all. But I'm just giving context. They're married. So Peter goes and handles Rhino first, then goes after Venom.
What's he doing?
He comes across. Peter comes across Rhino.
Doc Ock helping me?
Rhino is attacking the power plant.
He is reformed.
It's a pretty simple fight. I had a little bit of trouble with it, and then my buddy was in my chat and he was like, "Hey, you should do this," and I was like, "Hey, I'm a fucking idiot. That's a really good idea." So took me a couple tries, but we got through that pretty quickly. Then he like steals this item. Black Cat gets injured. She gets taken away by paramedics who are not paramedics. We won't see her for a little bit. Peter then comes across the Lizard, who tells him that basically Venom has taken control of all of his goons, his Lizard gang, and points Peter in the correct direction of Venom's lair. Goes to Venom's lair, fights him a second time, then rescues Mary Jane. Cool. Everything's good there. Peter has to remind Venom that his like rage quest after Spider-Man in this case doesn't make sense because Peter Parker was standing right next to Eddie Brock, and Peter couldn't have stolen the Octavius's tech. Venom's like, "Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, like let's team up. Let's figure out what's going on here." So they go to the Daily Bugle.
Records room.
Surf the web, surf the web.
Shut up, Brock. We don't have
Venom
time.
is like, "Hey, I sense carnage. I'm gonna go."
Ooh, sense who?
Bails out. So their partnership ends pretty quickly.
Now?
Then
No choice.
Peter finds a bunch of symbiotes
here.
in the
Spider sense tingling. Now what?
has to also destroy the symbiote generators. If I remember right, that's also the context for what like the cloud is that's making it so you can't see the ground and touch it around. Is that the symbiotes, the symbiote generators are creating this? So they clear that out. Basically, they find in the Bugle a connection
You're
to
more angry back alley
like
than friendly neighborhood.
some like secret underground lab base. If I at the end of the Bugle, Peter comes across the imposter the imposter spider. Turns out that it's Mysterio. Kicks Mysterio's ass. Mysterio also says, "Hey, I'm also a distraction. We're trying to take over New York and infect it with symbiotes." Cool.
But the symbiote invasion cannot be stopped.
Symbiote
So
invasion.
Peter then has to go to this warehouse. The warehouse is where he finds the connection to this underground base.
No thanks.
Going through the underground base,
Keep the body count low.
Peter saves Black Cat because apparently
What's
the
going on here?
paramedics who kidnapped her work for
Your
whoever's
guess is as good as
underground base
mine.
this is.
The guys in
Gets
the
to the end of the
ambulance must have
underground
drugged me
base,
because the
and
next
guess
thing I
who
knew, I
he
woke up
finds?
here.
Doc
Gotta
Ock
get me out of here.
and Carnage.
Doc Ock.
So everything converges. Everyone's here.
Humanity needs the skills that
Doc
the
Ock
mighty
is like,
technology will give them.
"Hey,
Symbiosis is the
I'm actually still a villain.
Should've known
I set
reformed
this whole
Doc
thing
Ock was
up
too good to be
to
true."
turn the public against you and take over. Or
Those who
whatever.
cannot share my
You know,
vision
his
will be
plot doesn't make that much sense. So Venom also shows up. Venom's like, I'm gonna fight Carnage.
It's showtime,
Cool.
freaks.
Symbiote versus symbiote. Cool. Peter takes on Ock, kicks his ass. Cool. Stuff's resolving pretty well. Peter then goes to try and help Venom. Venom got beat.
One down.
Peter has to take on Carnage.
Wonder how Venom's doing.
Carnage goes down. I should go back and clarify because you'll see the footage behind me and see that I am not taking damage. So there is during the infiltration of, or the warehouse, I think is the infiltration of the warehouse. There is like a water path that you have to go through, and if Peter is in the water for like more than like a second, he just dies. I'm playing this on hard. The timing is super tight. So I was having a lot of trouble with it. Now I'm playing on the emulator. And the PS1 emulator that I'm using has built-in cheats. That's how I use the cheat for the Venom fight back at the beginning of the game. So I was like, hey, infinite health isn't going to help me, but there's also an invulnerability cheat. So I'm going to try that. So I turn on the invulnerability cheat, try to go through it, still die. Cool. I'll turn off the invulnerability cheat then. Guess what? The invulnerability cheat does not turn off. So now I'm stuck with it. So for a lot of this, you're not going to see me take damage. Like I said, it's a casual playthrough, so I don't necessarily care all that much. But if you want to complain about it, feel free to complain in the comments. I'll be there. We can discuss it. You know, is what it is. So I'm not taking damage here at all. Beat Carnage. Cool. We're like, okay, cool. Like,
You are born
everything went
loser,
well.
Cletus Cassidy. Like I told Mysterio,
Carnage
no one
decides
can
to
control the
leave
symbiotes.
Cletus Cassidy
No one I've met
and
anyway.
jump on
Take a breather,
to
Spidey.
Doc Ock,
It's over.
creating
Well,
what
just
they call
another day in
Monster
the
Ock.
life. Whoa!
This thing
What the
is the stuff of nightmare. So, like I said, this is the first thing that I ever beat. I was born in 96, came out in 2000. I'm pretty sure I beat it like maybe like 6 months after it came out. Like something relatively close, because I remember being extremely young and we didn't have a PS2. I got a PS2 like a year or two after. I remember where we lived. Like we lived with my grandmother. We moved out of my grandmother's house when I was 4. So, like, genuinely within, like, I think my mom was pregnant with my sister when we moved in. Well, my mom was pregnant with my sister when we moved in. My sister was born the same month as me. So she was born just before, like, right before my 5th birthday. So I was 4 years old when I finished this. Should I have been playing this game at 4 years old? Probably not, but, like, honestly, like, I already kind of like Spider-Man. So, like, I guess my parents were like, oh, you know, he already likes Spider-Man, like, let's just do it. Not realizing the fucking horrors that I was going to have to deal with. So, Monster Ock 1 just looks scary, especially, like, when you're a 4-year-old child. The only thing, like, so this is something that I have vivid memories of being terrified of as a kid. The only other thing that I have vivid memories of being terrified of as a kid is watching my cousins play the remake of Resident Evil 1 for the first time on GameCube. Like, I remember that, being fucking terrified of that, because my cousins were 7 years older than me, so they were super into it, you know, like, intentional scares, playing it with the lights on and being like, oh, well, you know, like, our baby cousin's here, but, like, we still want to play, so who gives a fuck? So I remember this and the Spencer Mansion. Those are the two, like, things that chilled me to my core that I remember so
The bed goes up here. I need to press R1
So,
to zip line up quickly.
there's that. But then also just the sounds that he's making. He's like, help me! Like, you know, like, because Ock is not into this, I would assume. Like, he's not, like the symbiotes are not, like, the symbiote's not properly bonded. So, like, I don't think he's into this. He's, like, screaming in pain. This chase sequence sucks because, like, one, like the swinging mechanics in this game aren't great. Like it's a baseline for where they built off of for Spider-Man 1, the movie, the game, and Spider-Man 2, the movie, the game. Like you can feel like the beginnings of that, but like it's not all the way there. And also, I guess like just for me, the last Spider-Man game that I played was Spider-Man 2 for the PS5. So like going from the newest Spider-Man game to a really old one,
Press R1 to zip line
very
up
very
quickly.
different style. Especially because I'm playing it like because I'm playing it with a DualSense, so I'm emulating the like analog controls on a digital controller.
Let off.
So there's that. Anyway, so after all the horrors unimaginable are done, we finally get out of the base.
You've got to be kidding.
I didn't mention it
Perfect
earlier,
day.
but
Perfect day.
this is also from a time when video game or like licensed video games
It's a good thing
like
Black Cat
could
gave me a call, son.
take a little bit
just
more
in
risks,
time.
or like and use characters that like this is before like everybody sold off all the characters. I think Sony already had the movie rights to Spider-Man at this point, and like they had already sold off like some of them, but like it was before everything was as contentious as it
I'm
is
sorry.
now.
I was
So
out
like
saving the world.
Human Torch shows up in
Beating
this,
you guys
Daredevil
at
shows
cards,
up in
that'd
this,
be pretty
like
easy.
Captain America, the Punisher, like
Save you here.
it's like it is a Spider-Man game, but there are features from other New York-based Marvel characters. So Daredevil shows up at the beginning of the game. He kind of spreads the word to all the other heroes, like, "Hey, like, you're not like you. This was not you."
Inviting this guy.
So,
Will you guys keep it down?
basically at the end,
Hey, listen up,
the
kid.
base is blowing
I'm
up.
on fire.
Peter basically barely gets out. He saves Ock. The symbiote leaves him.
All of you guys
They get
were
rescued
working
by
together,
Venom,
and
Captain
you
America, and
still
Black
couldn't
Cat.
take down
Cool.
Spider-Man.
Days saved. Yay! Yay! Everything's good. Game ends. There's like a little epilogue where Spider-Man is hanging out with some of the other characters who did show some of the other Marvel characters who did show up. And then also all the villains who showed up in this game are in jail. They're hanging out. It's cute. It's cute. So that is Spider-Man 2000.
I got a bingo.
I always just call this Spider-Man 2000 because the first movie game came out in 2002, I think.
Daddy, Doc,
And it came out in 2000. Like Spider-Man for the PS1 is what I grew up with, but like I also have friends who played it on the Dreamcast. So Spider-Man 2000. Anyway, I really don't have too much more to say about it. I just wanted to kind of like same format, same thing as the last video. Like this is just me kind of rambling, talking about the game. Thank you all for watching. Next video, since I'm already done with it, and this time hopefully I won't fucking drop the ball like I did on this one, is on Heavy Rain. We're doing the whole David Cage thing. I want to cover all of the David Cage games, all the Quantic Dream games before 2024 is over. Maybe not that first one, the Nomadic Soul. Who knows? But in theory, I don't know when this video is going to come out because
Mind if I drop in?
it's the 3rd right now. And I didn't do anything for March, but I want to like get this done as soon as possible so that I have something to do in March or something. So I can make it seem like I didn't just completely drop the ball in March, even though I did, and I'm openly admitting it. So hopefully within like the next by like the 12th, because I'm also out of state from the 12th to the 14th. So yeah, hopefully by the 12th this will be out, and then after I get back, I'll start working on the Heavy Rain video. So hopefully that'll be out by the end of the month, and then going into May we can be like have a consistent. Okay, I'm just doing what I wanted to do, which was a video a month. Anyway, that's just a lot of shop stuff. I I need to, need to get on that myself rather than, talking to you guys. But let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know what I can do to change.
Uh-oh. More hostages and a bomb.
I do want to make
Really
these
careful
entertaining,
here.
but I also make them for myself. So, give me your questions, comments, concerns. Give me what you want to see out of my videos. Is basically what I'm saying. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching. Give me a like, give me a subscribe. If you enjoy it, I appreciate anything. I appreciate the view. I appreciate the likes, comments, subscribes. Dislikes,
Safe.
anything. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you popping over and watching me on Twitch, twitch.tv/latency issue. If you need a reminder. And that's all. See you guys next time. Heavy rain, more David Cage. We'll see what I do in between, because I probably will do a video in between each David Cage game. Anyway, take care. Have a good one. Bye.